No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you everyone for the, it's a pleasure to me, an honor to be here today, talk about a topic that I really love as fractional project management and the future of scalable delivery. Why the future of scalable delivery? Because we cannot do everything by yourself. We can hire this, you're gonna see how we can improve our delivery through the fractional services.
Trisha, can you put
Uh,
your presentation in presentation view so we can?
Can you see my agenda?
Yes, we can see the slides. I was just wondering if you could make it bigger.
Okay.
Or presentation mode, sorry.
Let me see if I can do it.
It's okay if you can't. You can
Just
go
go
ahead.
to the top
I'm gonna go to
the top
presentation
ribbon
mode.
and hit slideshow.
I go into presentation mode. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Can you see it better? No, perfect. The agenda today, I'm going to try to give you an explanation about the concept, fractional concept, which is everyone is talking about these days, how we can create a value proposition and benefits from the fractional services. I give you an idea what is the difference between regular project manager, freelance project manager, and fractional project manager. Okay, I'm going to give you some tips to structuring a successful engagement, how to position yourself or your PMO, and I'm gonna talk about one of the case studies that I had the pleasure to work in the past as a fractional, and we are going to do something fun in the middle of this, and then we are going to go to the Q&A. What is the fractional concept? Is access is for any area that you want to do fractional service, it's always access to senior level expertise on like a part-time. Okay, it's not a freelance, it's a part-time, which is a different concept. It's always project based and is as needed. Okay, not all the time. The fractional project manager go to do the thing that he has to do and then leave the organization with the value that they deliver. Usually the models are flexible engagement without the cost of the full-time hire. Okay. The application is widely used on the executive environments. Usually you're gonna see fractional CFOs, fractional CIO, CMOs, CTOs, COOs. And if you don't remember the acronym is Chief Financial Officer, Chief Information Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Technology Officer, and Chief Operational Officer. When we go on the fractional to who can be a fractional, we go to the second level, which is the specialist, okay? Everything that the C-level needs to be successful are specialists around. One of those are the project and program managers. HR leaders, legal advisors usually are fractional. Marketing strategies, we don't need a marketing strategist all the time. We need a specific task and move forward. And IT architects. And this is a conversation that I usually have with a lot of professionals. I need a AWS specialist. Okay. How much time do you need a specialist? Don't hire. Look for a specialist, bring it, do your job, and let it go. And let it be to another organization. Usually we are in advisory roles. We are PMO advisors. We are transformation leaders, change management consultants all the time because the flexibility that we have in our mindset while we work. The business need. When
Hey,
we
Patricia,
are
Patricia,
yes.
I really hate to disrupt your presentation, but I don't think the slide deck is aligned. We're still seeing like you're in PowerPoint where the screen is showing the different slides on the left, but we're not seeing the presentation mode where we can match the slide that you're talking about.
I'm in the presentation mode right now. Okay, let me see. Because I'm in presentation mode. Let me see.
We're seeing the agenda.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I'm seeing her slides change, but I do see the slides
Not-
on the side.
Not on this end. We still see the agenda and we see the slides on the left, so it's not on full presentation mode.
Oh, okay.
If you go
and
to
if
the
we-
top ribbon and hit slideshow, that will put it into the mode that you need.
Can you see it?
Maybe you can unshare and then reshare. It might be a Zoom issue.
Okay, let me go back. Let me
Thank you,
reshare.
Patricia.
Okay.
That's so interesting because I can see you.
Technology is technology. Though. Okay, let's see what you can see. I'm in screen 1, screen 2. Can you see this?
Okay, yeah, now we're in
Now it's
presentation
better.
mode.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Thank
so,
you.
Okay. Let me go. Okay. What is the business need? Usually when we talk about business, we are looking at lean budgets. And in the market today, we see a lot of headcount freezes. So what is happening in the past after the pandemic, many people was working remote, but now we are RTR, return to RTO, return to the office, and many people said, I don't want to go to the office again. So if I'm a business owner, okay, I'm gonna just look for an expert to cover that position, and I'm gonna get rid of the headcount. I'm gonna bring a fractional to do the job, and that's it. What is the business need? Is rapid project cycles, because we have a lot of uncertainty in some specific projects, and we need to go fast. And we have specialized expertise requirements. So that is, let's say, let me give you an example. A marketing strategist. A marketing strategist I don't need all the time, but if I have to design, I have to lead a project in marketing campaign, I have to bring a strategist to help me to define the project in the marketing environment. What is a fractional PM? Fractional PM has a part-time engagement for a specific scope and duration. It's not just a freelance. It's structured and strategic. And it's agile and strategic, okay? It's always, that doesn't mean that you have to go always in the environment of agile, okay, as a methodology, but you have to be very agile to define your work as a fractional. What is the value proposition? The value proposition is cost efficiency. Pay for value, no downtime. A fractional has to be able to be plug and play. So go, the onboarding is check on the checklist, and we are just ready to play. Usually a fractional project manager or a fractional program manager is a very seasonal professional with a lot of motivation to help an organization, okay? Not just the money, okay? There are a combination of things. You're gonna see one thing is a superpower and the other are the gift. So you're gonna see how much that thing in the future. And you have to be open to be scalable. Adjust the capacity for the value proposition as the client needs, okay? If you are leading a project as a fractional project manager and you know that your capability statement is know what the client needs, go for another fractional project manager and serve to your client in that way. Always be the person who gives solutions to your clients. Let's talk about the different models, because when we talk about fractional, we talk about models. Of course, we are project managers. The engagement time, when you are a full-time, regular in-house, full-time, a permanent professional. Freelance, short-term, and it's based on task. Fractional is part-time, ongoing or project-based. What is the level of integration? The level of integration when you are in-house, high, full in bed. Freelance, usually the integration is very low. The fractional, because it's flexible, the integration is high. The cost structure, salary, okay, plus benefits. Freelance, hourly rate or per task. When you're a fractional, you create the value proposition and make a proposal to the client, okay? It's not how many hours, how is my hourly rate? No, it's a value thing. It's not just hourly rate. The speed to start, when we are in the hiring process, weeks, months, depending on the organization. A freelance, days, because I needed to do a task and then finish. In the fractional, because we know the fractional is a specific professional, let's say somebody who is just running projects in the finance environment. So that person, we know the value and it's just in days has to be ready to run in the organization. The impact, strategic impact, ongoing influence. If you're in-house, you have to be a project manager with ongoing influence. Freelance is limited to the scope, so the influence is very much limited or very low. But when you're a fractional project manager, you're a strategic person, a strategic advisor, so the strategic impact is very high, okay? I'm not telling you that leave your job and go and get a fractional project manager, because it is a piece that nobody tells you when you work in an organization as a full-time, that is the sales piece, okay? And this is not in any of my presentations. I always said, when we are in an organization, we have an organization helping us to grow and do our job. When we are outside the organization, you have to wear different hats and do something that sometimes we don't do, which is sell our value to different organizations or clients. How we can structure an engagement. Always, as in every project, define a scope, objectives, timelines, and deliverables. Remember, as a fractional, our deliverable is very specific, okay? Set expectations, communication, reporting, and stakeholders. And in this piece, I'm gonna make a note. Communication is not connection, okay? Communication is a report, a piece of newsletter, or internal communication. But when we are fractional, we have to be able to connect with the stakeholders and work with the stakeholders, okay? Not just communication, it's connect with the people. And if you need, I have an onboarding checklist for fractional project managers that I can share. It's very simple. It's just define scope, objectives, timelines, set expectation. It's just how we structure our engagements, and it's easy to handle, nothing too complicated, okay? But create your onboarding checklist. It's super simple. You don't need to have a special knowledge, just it's an ABC. It's an ABC as we work on, as a project manager, we have frameworks and templates for almost everything. So for the onboarding is the same. Let's talk about the fractional project management onboarding timeline. Day one, confirm scope, deliverables, share contract, and access, assign, sponsor, point of contact. Everything in day one, okay? Then with week one, intro meetings, an orientation, review the organization chart, culture, strategy, and agree with quick wins and cadence. On week two, we are already in the knowledge transfer, integrate with teams, deliver early value, and quick reports. So when we are fractionals, we don't have time. We deliver value. Okay, so value means money, and time for the client is money. So for that reason, a company might hire a project manager, a fractional project manager. The different models of engagement: project-based, interim leadership. This is the interim the leadership is very common on the interim CFO, interim CMO. There is a fractional, okay? It's a person who's going to take over the control of whatever they have to control and then transfer that operation and leadership to the person who's going to take over the service at the future. And the other kind of engagement is a specialized advisor. Let me see if I can give you an example. A person who has knowledge on how to manage AI in a specific organization, specialized advisory. As a note, and let me tell you that everyone who is working in AI these days, the idea is to have their own shop. So many people just go, do the specialized advisory and leave, especially these days in the AI environment. Pitfalls to avoid. The most common thing is the scope creep, okay? A poor onboarding, the lack of the knowledge in the onboarding, and the lack of measurable outcomes. We are, as a project managers, we always deliver something, okay? Doesn't matter if within time and within budget, but we are delivering something and the stakeholders are looking for that outcome. So always, always, always try to do something to measure what you are delivering. How position yourself as a fractional project manager or your PM project management office? You can build your fractional ready portfolio. Okay, let's say that you are the PMO lead and you have a gap in your organization. Bring a fraction. So deliver as your internal client are expecting. Okay, build a partner network. Build an organization, a network that can support your project management office service, internal services. In the last 10 years, I've been working in project management office that just are in IT and project management office that are from the business perspective. If the project management office is in IT and they have no communication with the rest of the areas in the organization, what is going to happen that maybe marketing is going to hire a fractional project manager to run a project because the project management office in IT cannot deliver on time or cannot pay attention to their needs. So something that we have to be very always aware on the project management office. And how I might position my project management office? As a service throughout all the organization. Okay, so don't be afraid to a fractional project manager. We have a mindset. A mindset is we go, deliver, and we live. Okay, we make connections, we make community, and we are always helping. That is very important. Okay. Okay. And this time we are going to relax and think. This is something that we usually don't do on the PMI and the virtual sessions, but I like to do it. We have been the whole day working in the office, and maybe you have something to get rid of, and we are going to do a little bit of tapping. While we do that, I want you to think, what is your superpower and what is your gift? Okay, we're going to take a minute or so. What is tapping? Okay, tapping is something that we do to activate our circulation. Okay, do this here, here. And if you had been sitting the whole day and you had no opportunity during the day to move, do this. So you're gonna see how your energy is back and your circulation is moving, okay? So think, while we do this, what is your superpower and what is your gift, okay? So remember, the superpower is something that we use naturally, and the gift is something that we apply everywhere we go, okay? How are we doing with the tapping? This is a business technique for all of you that are, what is this crazy woman doing? It's a business technique. The tapping is a tapping solution, and it's used by a lot of executives these days to remove the stress level in many organizations. This is a case study, okay? Hopefully everyone is thinking about the superpowers and the gift. This is an industry that I never worked before, and I was invited to give some advice, and it was my first activity, my first relation with the pharma. The challenge was to merge two global pharma organizations, not super big, okay, not super big, but with a lot of cultural differences. They needed a rapid integration of operations and the PMO governance. The role of the fractional was provide scalable leadership to unify process and accelerate delivery. Remember, today, our clients are looking for fast delivery, okay? They want to see results very much super fast. The global team was spread in 6 regions with diverse cultural practice. A disconnection, total disconnection about project methodologies and reporting standard. Everyone was doing whatever they was doing because they were different organizations. But as a pharma, you have strict regulatory compliance requirements as FDA in United States and the EMA, which is Europe and some countries in APAC. The pressure was to integrate in 6 months. While everyone takes years to do the integration, the challenge was doing it in 6 months. While we were having the idea during the M&A that the research and development has to continue working and keeping the product launch timelines. That was very challenging. Okay, let me see. The approach, rapid development, was fractional PM, embed immediately, okay? Unified governance, design and implement centralized PMO, and tailor it with the pharma compliance. I have no idea in the moment that we started about the pharma compliance, but we have a fractional expert working in that matter. And we have a great connection, and we did a really good job on this. A stakeholder alignment was workshops and regional workshops to harmonize processes. It was super interesting working with these groups. And the quick win was, we always celebrate quick wins, deliver standardized dashboards and reporting within 30 days. So I might say that it wasn't stressful, okay? It was challenging, and it was very interesting, the approach, because I wasn't just the lead. I was in a group of leaders working on that, okay? And that is super interesting because I don't have the knowledge of everything, but somebody has the knowledge that I need to have. the complementary, my other half on the different topics was very interesting challenge. We did it in the time that the organization was looking at, and the reporting, which was very important, and the research and development continue with the delivering time. Outcome: unified PMO established in 6 months across all regions. Okay. Improve visibility into portfolio and regulatory milestones. Let me tell you, when you work in different time zones, you don't sleep, okay? Or sleep in a different time zones. And it was super interesting because we had peers in different regions, and it was a connection, not just communication, connection. And everyone was, oh, this is your part, you have to do this. It was super interesting. The reduction of delays was by 35%, okay? And I have to say that up until today, the 85% of the original group working, not just in operation, but in IT, is still working in the same organization. So the 15% of the people left because he couldn't manage the challenge, but it was already people who was ready to get their retirement. But the people is still working there. The model proved to be cost effective and versus a permanent hire. The idea was to keep what they have, okay? Which just was they are helping, okay, with our expertise, with people who has knowledge and different kind of regulatory milestones that they need. And remember, pharma is very complicated depending on the country, okay? Whatever you do related with the human is very complicated and has a lot of control. In countries, there is the FDA here is nothing compared to what happened in Europe. So Europe is very high control, and not in every country on APAC has the control that has in Europe. We are almost approaching the end, and what power skills are my suggestion to have in fractional project managers? Effective communication across diverse stakeholders, I might say, is a must, okay? Empathy and emotional intelligence to build trust. If you don't have the IQ today to manage to work with different kind of people and help them, and then leave the organization with just as your footprint was the value, don't do it. Okay, don't do it. Collaborative leadership in hybrid and remote environment is a must. You have, in the last 3 years, I've been working more on hybrid and remote environments. And today, in organization that I was 3 or 4 months, I'm still connected with the people. So you should collaborate with everyone. You never know when that person is going to need you, not just in the organization or beyond the organization. The other thing that I always suggest on as a power skill is to have an innovative mindset to adapt solutions quickly. Think in solutions. I found in my career people who has a problem for every solution. No, you have a solution for every problem. And we prevent situation. We usually try to be preventive. Okay, something is going to happen if this bottle falls. Okay, what do I need to do? And in the technology, we have a lot of solutions. Okay, if we don't know, call somebody, because everything is be able to be solved in technology these days. There's no many mysteries in technology. Influence and negotiation to lead change smoothly. That is part of the empathy and the emotional intelligence. Influence You can influence people always in the good way, okay? And you don't need to be an influencer on TikTok to have influence in your arena, in your business, in your project management environment. Just show and help. That is power skill, okay? A skill transfer is always, and be open to listen what is going on and how you're gonna help them, okay? Let's talk about, and I want to see your answers on this. My superpower, I usually turn complexity into clarity. That is one of my superpowers. And my gift is empathy and strategy. Why? Because I usually I usually build very good teams because I can feel if we are going to be able to work together. So what is your superpower and what is your gift? I want to see the answers.
So Mario said that his superpower is pattern spotting and his gift is reinventing.
Okay.
Nicoya said that her superpower is being detail-oriented and her gift is her calm composure.
Okay.
And I said that my gift was reflective listening, intuition, and my superpower was reflective listening.
Okay.
And Patty says that her superpower is being able to read people.
Okay.
And so far, that's all that we have.
Okay. What happened?
Oh, we have, they're coming in. Irina
Okay.
said her superpower is turning complexity into clarity. And this is what her consulting agency is for.
Mhm.
So she used that as the inspiration for her consulting work.
Okay. Perfect. What is the gift?
She didn't mention any.
Okay. It's okay.
Deborah says her superpower is translating technical jargon and industry jargon. And her
Okay.
gift, being able to remain calm under stress and keep everyone else calm.
Perfect. Perfect.
So we have
I like.
a range of really important skills that align very well with things that you mentioned.
Yeah, perfect. I like that.
We had a question earlier about where do you find fractional roles?
Oh, there are fractional roles. Let me finish this presentation and we are going to the Q&A. I'm gonna give you a couple of hints, okay?
Thank you.
I keep this. Okay. Remember this, in the fractional arena or in the life arena, our superpowers are always there, okay? I always try to turn complexity into clarity. It's not just in the project management, it's in life, okay? And gift, empathy, and strategy, in my case, all the time, all the time. I've been in different hard situations, and with empathy and strategy, I was successful to get out from the bad situations. And always turning complexity into clarity as a superpower was helping me a lot in the different activities and different aspects of my life. So always keep that in mind. We are always closing this presentation. Let's say that you want to connect with me and you want to send me an email because you want to something else, some consult or something like that. Send me an email to edu@pmobusiness.com and the subject put PMI. Okay, I'm gonna know that it's for this conference or this virtual session. You can also connect with me across my through my company and pmobusiness.com/contact. Just put the topic that you want to talk. And if you have your phone there, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Just scan my QR code on the screen. And if you are seeing this presentation on the phone and you cannot scan the QR code, just look for Patricia Monica Ojeda on LinkedIn. And there you are, you're gonna find myself there. So we are going to the Q&A. Okay. I know that there is a lot of questions about the project management, the fractional project management, where to get jobs on the fractional. First of all, there are websites that you can look for fractional, fractional services, fractional projects. And there is one that I was working with the people. They're looking for more in the marketing environment. But the other way that you can promote your specialty, if you have, remember, the fractional services is very specific. You should look for somebody who might have the needs. Make a quick presentation and send an email. Okay, connect with people on that way. There is Glassdoor has services as well as a temporary, and there are a couple of AIs websites that is not specific and fractional, but you can go to the job leads, has fractional, it's a membership, you can pay a membership, I think it's $20 a month, something like that. And you have access to different fractional, people looking for fractional. Usually the fractional is very much oriented to a specific activity. If you are looking for, if you're a project manager, an agile project manager, or an agile coach, don't look for fractional, look for the opportunity and offer your services as a fraction. It's what I do, it's what we do. Sometimes I see, this is something that you don't need a full-time employee to do this. Let me offer you my services. How we introduce our company, how I introduce PMO business and different organizations. I'm a member of the CIO Council. I am a member of the American Marketing Association. I'm also a member of Women in Business Network. It's an international organization. And there is always connection and people that you can help and they can help you out as well. Questions?
So I had a question. So you had mentioned that if you're going to take on a fractional role, you want to be comfortable with your footprint being that you delivered value. And what suggestions do you have? Because a lot of us get attached to our organizations, and you can feel you spend time becoming part of the team. What do you do when you're coming into an organization and you're not going to be there very long? How do you kind of
manage to cope with that?
Find belonging. Find belonging so you're comfortable about the value you deliver.
I never felt that I am not belong. Okay. When I go with my checklist, my value proposition and stuff like that, we have a playbook in the in PMO business for the people who do fractional. We always are a part of the organization the organization that hire us. We deliver and we live, but they are continue being our client forever. Okay, even though we are not delivering any business in that moment, we are always available to have. But again, there is a need of the human to belong. Okay, so you can tweak your mind. It's a mindset. We can tweak your mind to say, I belong to this organization. In fact, if you see my LinkedIn profile, you're going to see that sometimes doing fractional, I put the name of the company. Okay, so belong is a mindset. Okay, go ahead.
And what's the difference between a fractional role and a consulting role?
Okay. Consulting role usually is for beyond a project. Okay, beyond a project. When you're a fractional project manager, okay, or fractional CMO or fractional COO, it's a specific topic. Okay, it's a specific topic. When we do consulting, I sometimes do consulting and say, okay, this technology is not going to work if you want to do this, launch this campaign. So you should use something else. That is a different role. Okay. I'm not running a project, I'm running a consulting activity. So they are asking me to give them an advice and help them to deliver in a specific role as a consultant. As a project manager, fractional project manager, we have a specific scope and we deliver the value on that scope.
And what advice do you have for people who may not have a large portfolio to show that they can do the work, but who feel motivated to do the work that's being advertised?
Okay. You don't need to have a large portfolio. You have to know what you know. Okay, that is your value. If I have a project, I don't know everything because nobody can know everything except some specific AI tools. But if I have to tackle a project and I need somebody who is an expert on the operations in the Department of Transportation, I'm gonna look for that person. That is the value that person is gonna bring to my team. Okay. Brand. This is something that I always talk about when we talk about branding. Brand your knowledge. Okay, you are special, you're unique. So brand your knowledge, and they're gonna hire you for your knowledge and your expertise. Any other question?
You mentioned the importance of being able to market yourself. What are some key strategies that you should put in place to make sure that you can market yourself effectively?
I usually have a lot of visibility. I helping in many places, and I post in specific places some comments, and I try to connect with the people that I want to connect. Okay, not just send an email, hey, listen, you have an opening, I would like to apply. No, connect with the person and then offer something and then ask for the opportunity. Okay. That is my big advice. Just we market what we know. Okay. And we have to be very clear in what we know and with what we don't know. Okay. And if we go to an organization, we go because we have some specific knowledge that they're going to help them. Okay. Not just because. If today you are offering me $1 million for a full-time role, okay, it's money. But in the meantime, I love what I do, and I show to everyone how can I help them with my humble knowledge. Okay.
Yeah, our next question is, how do you ensure accountability for the strategies you propose as a fractional manager, especially since you are not a full-time employee?
Okay, we sign contracts. In the contract, the client usually specify the deliveries. So that is accountability. We sign contracts. Even though sometimes you're a full-time employee, sometimes the accountability is a bullshit. In the contract, the accountability, if you don't deliver, you have a fine. I put that clause in my contract. If the problem is my team, the fine is on me. But if the problem is your team, you have to solve it. Okay? When we are full-time employees, sometimes the people said, okay, we don't need this. Okay, let it go and let it be. But not always you are accountable in a full-time employee. But when you are a fractional, you have a contract and you have to be accountable.
Are there any support groups for individuals who are interested in entering fractional roles?
No. There is no support groups. I create my own support groups and I help my teams and try to help them to be successful. But let's say that the best support group that you might find is in specific areas. You are an expert on Fabric, on Microsoft Fabric, you are an expert on that. Go to the user groups, no super group, user groups, okay? Then if you need something else, talk to your peers, talk with your colleagues. Don't be a silo.
And of course, you've got the PMI community, as someone in the chat has mentioned. That's can be a large support also. I'm sure there are a lot of people, not just in our chapter, but in PMI at large that are discussing this topic.
Yes. Usually, you know, what are more supportive sometimes? The small and medium companies, because they're not dinosaurs. So when somebody needs something, I'm a member of a SCORE. I'm a mentor and educator, and we connect with everyone. And hey, I have this problem, so maybe you can mentor me in that issue. So you have to connect and communicate with your peers and with your colleagues, of course, and friends.
What if you're interested in working in digital health or get involved with AI, but your current full-time work is not has nothing to do with those types of areas? Can you be accepted in a fractional role without formally
If you
working
have
in
yes, if you have the expertise, yes. Remember this, side hustles are side hustles, okay? You can have a side hustle and something that is not in your full-time job. Nobody's gonna penalize you. And when your side hustle is bigger than your full-time job, you have to be brave to start your own business. And don't be self-employed, be a business owner, okay?
I don't see any more questions.
Wow, I like it.
Do you have any other advice that you think the group could benefit from?
My suggestion is always connect, okay? Not just communicate. Communicate is a newsletter, and the other side is may or may not read your newsletter. But if you connect with a person, that is a different business. If you connect with a person, and you connect with your colleagues, and you connect with them, there's always somebody gonna help you in a good or in a bad time. Just a word, and that is gonna be amazing. Always connect, and be very honest. If you don't know the topic, I don't know. Okay. As always, it's very important to empathy and connection with everyone.
Well, Patricia, I want to thank you so much for your presentation today. I think a lot of people really appreciated the opportunity to also reflect on their superpowers, because at the end of the day, that is what we're taking into any role, anywhere we feel like we will be able to benefit a company in a very small way. Oh, we do have one more question. It's around if you are an employer, how do you identify the responsibilities of a fractional role that's only going to be there temporarily?
Usually when we build a team, it's a specific role for a specialty, okay? Some role that we don't know. And I have a couple of techniques to understand if the person is gonna be able to deliver or not. I don't read people, so I said I don't read minds, but sometimes I read minds.
Would you put people through the same sort of psychometric testing and things that you do for?
No, because I would like to see the people in the field. I would like to see the people in the field. The psychometric is fantastic, but if you have to do a psychometric today with AI, you can pass the test with no problem. Okay. When you're not gonna pass the test is in the middle of the chaos and trying to be clear and give a solution.
And someone asked, can you expand a bit more on if you're self-employed, right? And or business owner? I think the person is asking
The difference between one of that.
yeah.
Okay. When you're a self-employed, you have just one job and pay your salary. Okay. When you're a business owner, you look for more business and to hire more people. There is a huge difference. I'm a business owner and I have to do that my company create more revenue to pay my salary. And if I hire people, to pay the salary of the salary of the other people. Okay. But if I was many years, I was self-employed, like a freelancer. If you don't have a job, don't have money. Okay. But today, the difference between business owner and self-employed is that one. Business owner, you don't afraid to grow. So grow. As a self-employed, you're just looking for the gig. Okay, it's a different concept.
I think the question is around maybe, oh, I think it was answered.
Okay, got it. If you want to, is look for difference between business owner and self-employed. Just put that question, it's gonna tell you. Business owner is a business. I run a business. I don't run a gig.
And would someone have to set up any sort of special business paperwork in order to do these roles? Like,
I
would
have
they
a
have to
company.
register themselves?
Let's say that if as a self-employed or business owner, you have to register yourself to invoice the clients. Okay, you have to always have an LLC or a small corporation or whatever. But you are your name Inc. in this. Okay, you have to create your future job, your future clients. From the business perspective, have a good CPA and pay your taxes and just be a business owner.
Well, thank you again, Patricia, for
Thank you.
answering all of our questions today and sharing information with us. For those of you who attended today, you will be receiving your PDUs in a few weeks. We will be sending out a survey for you to fill out, and we really appreciate your help in rating tonight's presentation. And you can always connect with the chapter to give us more ideas about what you'd like to hear more about. And thank you very much, everyone, for attending tonight's presentation.
Thank you.